AI agents, they're incredible, right? They promise to completely automate our most complex workflows, everything from planning travel to summarizing super dense documents. We are right on the edge of delegating huge chunks of our work to them, freeing us up to do more important strategic things.
Ah, but there's the catch. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? For all their amazing power, these agents can be, well, pretty unreliable. They make mistakes, they get things wrong, and what's worse, they present those errors with this totally unnerving confidence. And this is the big, scary problem we're all up against. It's called AI hallucination. It's when an AI, trying its best to be helpful, just makes things up out of thin air. And if you act on that fabricated information, the consequences can be really, really serious. So, how do we delegate work without risking total disaster?
Okay, let's get into it. The secret here is a pretty fundamental mindset shift. We have to stop treating AI like it's just a simple tool, like a calculator. We need to start treating it like a new colleague, a super smart, lightning fast intern who also, sometimes makes stuff up. This brings us to a really powerful concept from the legal world that honestly perfectly frames how we should think about AI. It's called the principal-agent relationship, and it's the exact same framework you'd use if you hired a human to act on your behalf. So let me be super clear about this because it's the most important point. Just like you're responsible for the actions of a human assistant you hired, you are always 100% responsible for what your AI agent does. The AI has zero accountability. You have all of it. Formally, what this means is that you are the principal, and the AI is your agent. And you are legally bound by whatever your agent does. So when you take its output and put it in an email or a report or use it to make a decision, you're the one signing your name to it. Okay, so if we're the manager now, how do we actually manage this thing? How do we build trust? It is definitely not about blind faith, let me tell you. It's about a deliberate process. So let's look at the management framework. These are your 5 golden rules for delegating work safely. Think of them as the pillars of good management. You've got to define the scope of the work, set clear constraints, always perform verification, which includes checking for consistency, and finally, you have to accept accountability. First up, scope. This is all about setting clear boundaries. You have to tell the agent exactly what the task is, and just as important, what it is not. So, for example, an email agent should only address the issues the customer brought up, and absolutely nothing else. Next, we add constraints. These are your guardrails. They keep the AI on the right road. You specify the rules, the tone of voice, the data sources it's allowed to use, the formats it has to follow. A restaurant's ordering bot might be constrained to only use a pre-approved list of vendors. This stops it from going rogue and ordering 1,000 lobsters. And this one? This is non-negotiable. Verification. You have to check the work, period. Never, ever just assume it's correct. This is also where that idea of consistency comes in. Is the answer consistent with what you already know is true? Does it line up with past results? You have to do this critical review. And, as we'll see in a bit, you can even get another AI to help you do it. And all of this brings us to the final, most critical rule, accountability. This is the moment of truth. When you hit send on that email, or you publish that report, or you make a decision based on what the agent gave you, you are putting your name, your reputation on it. You own the outcome, for better or for worse. All right, so we've got the management framework down. Now let's get practical. How do we actually put these rules into action? This brings us to our power toolkit. 3 really cool hands-on techniques you can start using, like today. So we're going to cover 3 game-changing techniques. Meta prompting, which is basically using AI to help you write better prompts. Then rule extraction for reverse engineering what works. And finally, agent as judge, which is like setting up a digital peer review system for your AI. First up is meta prompting. It's just brilliant. Instead of tearing your hair out trying to like the perfect prompt, you give a rough draft to an AI and ask it to make it better. You ask it to find any weak spots, add constraints, and even define what to do if things go wrong. You're basically using the AI as your own personal prompt architect. And you can see the difference right here. A vague prompt like find the birthday is just asking for trouble. It forces the agent to guess. But a prompt that's been improved with meta-prompting, it's airtight. It defines the exact output format, it tells the agent how to handle failures, and it sets crystal clear constraints. It just removes all the guesswork and builds reliability in from the very start. Okay, our second tool is rule extraction.
This is perfect for those times when you know what success looks like, but you can't quite put into words how to get there. So what you do is you give the AI a bunch of successful examples, say your company's best social media posts, and you ask it to reverse engineer the hidden rules that made them so great. And this is just a perfect example of that. Instead of guessing what makes a great post, you're using real data to create a formula that you can use again and again. The AI will analyze those examples and spit out a concrete set of rules, like use minimalist visuals or focus on one key benefit, that you can then use as constraints for all your future tasks. And finally, we have the agent as judge pattern. This is how you build a real quality control system. You would never have a student grade their own test, right? Same idea here. You don't rely on a single agent to both do the work and check if it's accurate. You bring in a second independent agent whose only job is to be the supervisor. So look at how this works. Agent 1 is your creator. It writes the social media post. Then you hand that finished post, along with the rules we just extracted, over to Agent 2. Agent 2 is the judge. Its only job is to grade that post against the rubric. By separating the doing from the evaluating, you create this amazing feedback loop that catches errors before they ever get to you. So, when you put all of this together, the management principles and these powerful validation tools, you get to the final and honestly the most important mindset shift of all. See, the goal here isn't just to write one perfect prompt to complete one task. It's to become a system designer. Your job now is to engineer a repeatable, reliable process using all these tools we've talked about that can do that task for you over and over and over again and get it right every single time. You're not just a user anymore. You're building the machine. And that's really the key takeaway. You now have the framework and the tools to go from being just an AI user to being a true AI manager. So the only question left is, what system are you going to build first? What professional workflow, what complex task are you going to turn into your first reliable automated machine?